So possible answers. Is X possible? Because you can ignore the West Bank and Gaza for the time being. You just want to know, what kind of question is this? Is it a why question or a how question? In this case, it's saying, is X possible? So you can ignore the middle for now. Is X possible? And the answers are, yes, it is. No, it is not. Maybe it is. Maybe it is not. Yes, it could be if this was the case, or no, however it could be if this is the case. Those are the kind of answers, but the main ones are yes, no, not at the moment, not until something happens. Or you could say something like, yes, peace is possible, but only in the same way that peace is possible under military occupation sometimes, even then, or removal of Palestinian presence. So maybe you can have peace in these regions in the West Bank and Gaza only when all Palestinians are removed from that area. So there's still peace, but it's no longer, they're no longer Palestinian areas, maybe. So the basic answer I would always recommend you have is to give a yes or no, but then add a condition, add specifics to why it's yes or no. So example arguments that we've talked about a lot. You could say, yes, peace is possible, but only if there's regional peace, if Arab nations and Israel reach agreement first. Only if there's a two-state solution. So only if Palestine has a state and Israel has a state. Or only if there's a one-state solution, like only if there is one state with some power for the Palestinian people in the state and some power for Israeli Jews in the state. And others could say a confederate, so a bit more like the US with states with different views. You could have a federal government, perhaps, the Israel-Palestine government, and then you have a state, different states or regions that are Israeli and other regions that are Palestinian, and they have slightly different laws and things like that. It's another option. And then, of course, you could use, for instance, liberalism we spoke about last time, to say that peace is possible, but only slowly over time with economic initiatives, or a constructivist one, that it is possible, but only over time when ideas are understood better. The idea of Zionism is understood better, and the idea of colonialism or intifada is understood better. Those are some arguments for yes. For no, perhaps a little bit easier, perhaps, to argue, because there are so many reasons. The two-state might be impossible because there are so many small enclaves of Jewish settlements in the West Bank and Palestinian areas in the West Bank, and historical trauma, injustice, anger, the worsening situation, significant worsening of the situation since the October 7 attack. There can, there are so many arguments why you might say that it's not possible. The key thing to do would be to really try and prove that if you're just going to say no, not possible, never possible, then that's quite strong. Because what about in 300 years or 400 years? So again, even if you say no, you need to give good reasons and be quite specific.